What is a common mistake e-commerce businesses make with their digital budgets?
Well, they advertise in all the wrong places. So I think, well, first off, I think from a budget standpoint, every channel is a little bit different, right? When you look at Google, the way that you would calculate a budget for, let's say, a new advertiser, one that just wants to start advertising in Google, is you'd have to do some research on keyword terms, how much a cost per click is, and what are industry standard conversion rates for that channel, and then try to calculate, which could be an error of about 40% or 50%, right? Of what that CPA may be, what that budget should be. What I typically do when I start a budget for, let's say, Google Ads, is that we do tests, small tests to figure out what is the actual cost per click, and figure out what those costs are. That's a lot better than throwing it's throwing $500 on a small campaign in a smaller market to figure out what the costs are versus throwing $10,000 at a larger market and see what sticks. And I think big agencies are notorious for doing that. They'll look at campaigns a lot less. They'll throw a ton of money at it, saying, "Oh, you have to spend at least $20,000 a month to penetrate the market." Like, depends on what market. Like, you can actually spend a little bit, figure out what the cost is, and that will save you a lot, I think, in the long run versus throwing a lot, whatever at you know, throwing the whole kitchen sink at the budget to see what actually works and what doesn't. So I think brands get into serious trouble when trying to scale because they'll scale without improving efficiency first and just just accelerate the waste.